What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con artists back for another wonderful, fantastic episode. Back, as a matter of fact, because this is our official relaunch of the podcast with a video component added to it.
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_ on point and on TikTok at Eddie B Talking.
And I could be found on Instagram at CalamityRed84. If you followed my old one, which I think is I can't Calamity
Red_Calamity.
Red_Calamity. That's just I've just turned that into like my personal Instagram. So if you are not subscribed, if you follow me on there, you can also follow me at CalamityRed84. There'll be more show stuff over there because that's the Instagram for my alias. You know what I'm saying? So, but we are very excited to be back. It's been a while, man. We're going to talk today about a couple of the things that have happened since we've been gone that we just want to talk about. Because there's been a lot of things in the news and stuff that has happened that we missed because we weren't doing the show. So we are going to talk about a couple of those today. But I guess we need to just get this shit out the way first.
So when we started the podcast back, or thought of starting it back, one thing we wanted to make sure had happened before we start back was the election. And a lot of the conversations that we had in the old episodes was about, Donald Trump, and we've been doing the show since 2015, y'all. Yeah. So it goes back some elections. And we bonded with people from our perspectives on politics. Not to say that they were greatly informed, not to say that they were even the best takes. We are two people that are uninterested in politics. I inform myself about politics because I desire to be informed even about something that I don't like that impacts me. And she don't give a shit, but she'll participate.
Yes.
And so our perspective is just like based on that. We are therapists, so a lot of our perspectives come from like more the how much harm does it do to people. And when I was in the voting booth, I was not thinking about myself. I was thinking about my clients. I got clients with a range of circumstances that would be impacted by the worst case scenario of a lot of this stuff going on.
Yeah.
But we made the decision based off, let's wait to start the show until after the election. We'll know who's already in, and we'll be able to navigate it through knowing that.
Yeah.
And quite unfortunately for what I desired the outcome to be, Donald Trump won again.
I don't even... I'm tired of talking about it because of the nature of what we do. I've had this conversation with especially women last week, and it is so disheartening. Especially being a black woman, it makes me feel like I am the most hated person in this country. Not me specifically, but me being black and female. They just not fucking with us. They just not, and it hurts. I've had a lot of hard conversations with folks this week. I've had, people that are pregnant or that are considering getting pregnant, and they're concerned about what that's going to mean, what that's going to look like if something goes wrong. It's just been it's a lot. So I'm at my end with it. And at this point, I'm just kind of sitting back, and we'll just see where it goes from here. But I can't, emotionally, I don't have it anymore. I don't.
I've had conversations with dreamers. I've had conversations with kids at the detention center. And those kids deserve a judge that can look at their humanity past their skin tone. Those dreamers who, outside of their own choices, who were born here or brought here when they were children, who are what we would consider productive members of society, they deserve an opportunity, a path to citizenship. Why is a conversation about sending them back to a country that they've never lived in an option? It's lacking compassion. And that's the thing about the Republicans versus the Democrats. The Republicans lack all semblances of compassion, and the Democrats, they do too.
Yeah.
But at least the lip service that they give is one of compassion. And one of progress and the greater benefit to humanity, versus the Republicans is the greater benefit to just people they deem American. And a lot of White people don't deem us American.
Yep.
So what do you think? What do you think the outcome of this is going to be? What do you think a worst case scenario and a best case scenario? Is that too much for you to think?
I can't imagine a best case. I'm gonna be real with you. Like I said, I just don't have it in me. So I can't. Best case, I can't. I don't know. Worst case, I think that the people that voted for him are gonna get exactly what they voted for. I don't think they're gonna like it. And let me just white women for a minute. Let me holler at y'all real quick. Listen, I get that it's probably really hard for you because never in your life have you ever been lumped in to one category. Never in your life have you been judged based on your entire group. I've been seeing on TikTok where these white women have you seen the blue bracelets? Mm-hmm. Ma'am, you've been you have been judged by the color of your skin and not the content of your character for like not even a week at this fucking point. And your response is to go make a bunch of blue bracelets and sell them on Etsy so you can say, I'm one of the good ones. It wasn't me. I voted right. It was like that because that's what it's giving, right? We don't care. That's not actionable. I don't give a fuck what color bracelet you wear. We are all still in this same situation because of what took place on Tuesday. So like miss me with the bracelets. I don't care. And if I see somebody out with a bracelet on their arm, please do not think that I'm going to feel like you stand in solidarity with me because you have a fucking bracelet on your arm. That is the most disrespectful shit. As somebody that has been judged by the way that I look my whole life, I don't have sympathy for you. Yeah, it hurts. Yep, you don't like it. Yep, you do feel like you're different. But guess what? White women are being judged now, and that's just what it is, and y'all just gonna have to deal with it. But the bracelet shit, please stop that. Please stop that.
You know who's gonna be harmed the most with the blue bracelet stuff? People who've been wearing blue bracelets for 15 years already. Yeah. Like I've been wearing this blue bracelet for 15 years.
You throw it away
now that I'm wearing the blue bracelet, new
away.
stuff done applied to me. It's like they gonna struggle. It's like, man, I gotta take out my blue bracelet. I got this from my grandmama who died 15 years ago. And now you mean to tell me people gonna think that I'm a pretend ally out here because I got on this blue bracelet that I've been wearing for 15 years? I need to wear a bracelet that marks that the bracelet that I have on was a bracelet I already had on before they said we should be wearing blue bracelets to discern ourselves from Trump.
It's just stupid. Like I saw that shit in it, especially because I was still in my feels a little bit, and I started seeing that, and I was like, "Fuck them bitches." I am a little calmer about it today. However, I do think that it's just silly. This is not the response that you need to have if you want to make change or be seen as something different. You need to act different. And buying a bracelet is not you acting, okay? I can wear all kind of bracelets. They don't mean shit, okay? They got great Make America Great hats and all of that shit. They had a whole bunch of clothing and things that they could wear. So, like, that shit don't mean anything. Do some actionable steps if that's what you want, but like miss me with the bracelets.
And from the male perspective, I'm going to talk about kind of like what's happening, right? White women are saying, but it's not all of us.
Yep.
And as a man who exists amongst men who say it's not all of us, and being one of the men who don't say it's not all of us, what you have to do is accept that the group that you're a part of has created problems.
Yep.
And it's dangerous to give anybody a template to believe that you might be a safe one. Okay? And so I have to accept that a woman needs to put me through a process of filtering out everything she needs to do. She needs to ask me all the questions. She needs to do all stuff to make sure from her perspective that I'm somebody that she can invite into her life. It's not me defending men as a genre just so I can be accepted, okay? So white women, it's not about, looking at the whole genre of women and giving people a template to see where you are. It's about you being a safe person and being open to the people that you engage with, treating you like you are one of them until they see that you're not. And that's how you move forward. And you don't have to have a token to do that. You don't have to have a symbol around your wrist to do that at all.
No.
I know it because I live it. Because men be tripping sometimes, okay? And whether I'm tripping or not, I want a woman to put me through the whole rigmarole, the whole process, everything she needs to do for herself to be comfortable. So that's the only thing you can do. You know.
The bracelet.
And imagine men saying, "Hey, women, we gonna put bracelets on too. We gonna start wearing purple bracelets to indicate that we good men." Like, men don't know what the hell a good man is. You know what I'm saying? So, how do we know that you, white woman, know what a good white woman is? We have no clue.
Because if you're literally basing it off of who you voted this time around, you got some soul searching to do, because it takes more than that to be a good person. And those blue bracelets are signifying that you weren't one of the ones that voted for Trump. And cool, good for you, whatever. But that doesn't mean that you in your day-to-day life don't act like they do. And so yeah, you're gonna have to show us, and not by the jewelry that you choose to wear. So that's all I have to say about that.
It's going to be, I feel like a Kamala win would have kept us from talking about politics for some time.
Probably.
But now that Trump has won, I do want an ongoing record of what's going on. And so I'm going to be talking about the things that's going on. Right now, he's appointed a czar of deportation who worked under the Obama administration for, he was head of ICE. And just listening to him talk, he is just not compassionate at all, not concerned about human life. When they asked him about splitting up families, he was like, yeah, there's a way to deport families without splitting them up. It's send them all back. Where you got like 10, 11-year-olds who've been over here, only known this place, and their parents are illegal, and it's like sending them all back. Like, this is using a hammer to fix a problem that needs a scalpel, that needs an ice pick, that needs something that you chisel or, carve out very, very carefully. And this is just like one of the first big pieces of news to see what a direction in the administration will go. And he also appointed him as some kind of czar. It's not an official administration position, so it doesn't take Senate approval. So we're already looking at Trump trying to navigate ways out of this. Another thing that's going on is that it's been being told, it was told by Joe Rogan that like Elon Musk already knew 4 hours before the election was called that Trump won. And so everything going on in the TikTok streets now is about how Starlink may have something to do with how this election turned out in such a massive way. I mean, winning all of the swing states and winning the popular vote, when people are saying it seems too out there. And it's like, I don't know. I don't read enough conspiracy theories and dive into that kind of stuff to give really any informed information about that. I don't even know the reality of, if something did happen, what does that mean about who the new president would be? Or if they would even go back and investigate that stuff. But I don't want to get so deep into all of those things. But I did want to talk about just the essence of politics on this channel. It will be minimal, but it will be present. And on this return, I'm not going to talk about politics as much as I did. I don't desire to.
All right, so now we are going to have a part of the show that we will have every week, which is Reddits with Red. So this week I went into the Am I the Asshole subreddit. If y'all have any other subreddits that you think we would be able to get good content from to discuss, then please send them to us. And I will look through those and pick. So I haven't read any of these. I choose them by the title.
Previously, it was my boy Colin.
Yes.
Sent us dead bedrooms.
Yeah.
It was Andrew was sending us Reddits. We got Angel was sending us letters in Reddit. And we got Miss Cinnamon that was sending us some. And somebody with honey in their name.
Oh, was it Miss Honey?
I think it might have been Miss Honey.
That sounds right. It's been a little while.
And then we got Deb. So we just got a lot of people who've been sending us letters and stuff.
So send them in if you haven't.
We got Michael.
Yeah.
And Michael's wife.
Yes.
That is not misogyny.
Y'all are
That's
here
her.
for that.
She wanted us to call her Michael's wife.
She wants to be called Michael's wife.
So they over in Britain.
They are in
So
Britain.
they've been participating and sending us things. So we are open for you to send us Reddit letters to go through. We are open to you sending us subreddits that have content that you'd like to see us drawn from. Another thing is, I have no idea what she's about to read.
Yeah.
Okay. And
And I only know the titles. I don't read in them because I want to be surprised.
yeah,
So we
so
want our first response. So he has no clue.
I have no clue. She don't know. First response.
Yep. Probably only do maybe like one or two because I feel like we have a few other things to talk about. Okay. Am I the asshole for not giving my daughter a car for her 16th birthday and cutting her off financially?
Dang.
She's 16. The fuck you mean cut her off financially?
That's
How?
that went from 0 to 100
And
real
that's why I
quick.
chose it. Because I was like, what could she have possibly done? First of all, I don't think you can legally cut her off financially because I think that's a DHR call. So I really don't think you can even do that. But what could she have done?
I would think cutting her off financially would probably be about like any funds that you had in a will or college funds that you had. That would make sense. But I'm leaning towards, without knowing this, the parent is the asshole. She's
looks that way.
16. She's supposed to be stupid.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I picked the ones that Reddit has already decided are assholes. So they got the asshole label. I do that because sometimes we disagree with Reddit. Sometimes we're like, maybe not so much an asshole as like uninformed or whatever the case may be. So Reddit decided that this person is an asshole.
Let's do it.
Let's see if we agree. This is a 48-year-old man and his 15-year-old daughter. I guess that's about to turn 16.
He got started late, didn't he?
No.
Wait, how old is late? 48?
He would have been 33.
Okay.
No. Yeah, 23.
What? 33.
33. I
Yeah.
can't fucking math. 33. I have a daughter, Lisa, from my first marriage. I'm not on particularly good terms with her mother, and Lisa unfortunately became an outlet for her resentment towards me, which ended up souring our relationship massively. Lisa is a good person, but unfortunately she takes after her mom in terms of demeanor and often acts rude and entitled. Already, sir.
Already a problem.
A few years ago, I married again. Lisa decided to not attend my wedding, and she said a bunch of hurtful things to my then fiance, Rosemary, who's also 38. Rosemary and I welcomed a son a year and a half ago. Lisa sent me a text saying that since I have my perfect baby now, I could stop pestering her and trying to play family with her. It hurt me deeply, and I ended up distancing myself from her. Why would that be? You know what? Wait, let's just continue.
Keep reading.
Because what? Though I kept sending her $100 a month as her allowance. That's not a lot of money. Unless you maybe pay child support too. Recently, we had an unplanned addition to our family. Long story short, Rosemary's sister, who wasn't a good parent to start with, terminated her custody rights over her son, Blake, who's 17. Rosemary and I decided to take Blake in. Unfortunately, a few years ago, Blake got into a horrible car wreck and left him permanently disabled. Luckily, he can somewhat walk and doesn't need 24/7 assistance around the house, but that's about it. Blake is an amazing person, and he quickly became part of our family. I decided to give the $100 allowance to Blake instead. He was beyond happy and grateful. I also made a hard decision and gave him my car. It's a 22 Cadillac Escalade, and I was planning on getting rid of it this year anyway since Lisa is turning 16 in a month, and I wanted to gift it to Lisa. Now it's Blake's car, and he absolutely loves it. He really needed a car because his mobility issues don't let him get around easily anymore, and it changed his life massively. Of course, Lisa didn't like it. When she realized that she wasn't getting any allowance, she called me and asked what's wrong. It was the first call I received from her in a year, if not more. I explained that now my family had expanded, I'm not having enough money. Yo, family, like she not part of it? I'll be sending her mom the child support payments as per the court agreement, but she shouldn't expect anything extra. She asked me about the car since she knew about my plans on giving her a car. I told her that now the situation changed and I no longer could give her a car. I'll admit that what I said next was probably assholish of me, since I told her that I now have 2 children to play family with and asked her to stop pestering me. You do know that you're the fucking adult in this, right? This caused her to blow up completely to the point she got her mom to call me and scream at me, and so did her new husband. They threatened to sue me. Lisa said she'll go, no contact, and so on and so forth. I just brushed off the threats, especially since Rosemary is a lawyer, and I made my peace with poor contact with Lisa years ago. They also managed to write a few mean things to Rosemary and Blake, And this is what got me wondering whether I was the asshole here. Sir, how can you not be? Oh my God. Um, Parents, your relationship with your child, that's your job, right? Like to say that, well, she's not contacting me. You're the fucking dad. Okay, she's 16, 15. I'm sorry. She's not even 16 yet. She's 15. Okay. And instead of you trying to work through this, you wrote her off, which probably makes it even more reasonable in her mind that you created a new family and don't need her no more because you tossed her to the side. You didn't even fight, according to your letter here, sir. You're definitely the asshole, and you can try to justify it all you want by saying Blake had an accident and Blake's so great. He's such a great guy. All of that shit. The fact of the matter is you abandon your daughter, and that's exactly what this is, an abandonment. Sorry. She's 15. And like you wrote this letter like she a 25-year-old woman that's still like coming up to you. She's 15.
This gives me the energy, and I know you've experienced this with the families that you work with, where one parent has such disdain for the co-parent that when they look at that child, they just see a small version of that other person,
Oh, yeah.
and they project how they feel about that parent to that child. Because the way that he said me and her mother don't see eye to eye, and she's just using her resentment and my relationship with my mom against her against me, all of that feels like he just doesn't have a very positive perception of her mama or her. And he just been waiting for an opportunity to disconnect himself from her. Except when you're a parent of a child, there is no reasonable time to disconnect yourself from a child.
Especially not an adolescent child. This isn't a grown adult child. She's a kid. Like, and again, it just feeds into her notion that you created a new family and you don't need her anymore.
It ain't even a notion. He told her that shit.
He did. Well, he was just, just saying stuff to get back at her. But you, the adult, why would you be being petty with a 15-year-old? Because she said it to you, you're going to say it back to her. That is very childish, sir. You the adult in the room. You need
Some
to
of
act
these
like
parents be 15-year-olds
they do.
that end up being 48 with a 15-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
But they 15-year-olds too. Like they haven't shown that they've grown. They haven't shown that they've obtained some maturity. They haven't been able to like objectively look at parenting as anything outside of, that my wife's daughter. Some parents are like that, y'all. If y'all didn't know that, welcome to reality.
He's such a dick.
If you're listening to this, us responding to this, we are therapists. We work with families. We've been doing this for a long time. This ain't about therapy, but like seeing different parents engaging with children, such a wide range of what we experience. And
Yeah.
this is one of those things where you got at least one immature parent. They both can be immature.
And I'm not saying that the mom very well could have been doing some parental alienation. It is absolutely possible. I'm not saying that part's not true. But your job as a dad, as a mom, as a parent isn't going to always be easy. So yeah, it would be messed up if mom is doing parental alienation and making the relationship difficult. But you not helping by behaving the way that you are. And you on the wrong side of history in this, my guy. Because I hope you don't ever need Lisa for nothing. She ain't coming to help you with shit. You better hope that Blake stays as amazing as you say he is and this other little kid you had with your new wife. You better hope that they are the ones that are going to take care of you when you get old. Because otherwise, if I was Lisa, I would tell you fuck you. And I would push you out your wheelchair. But that's me. That's not what you should do.
Listen, I feel like a white woman named after a herb ain't trustworthy for some reason. I feel like she a problem somehow. I feel like she got something to do with the issues.
Well,
just because she named after a herb.
I mean, Satan chose, Rosemary's baby. She got chosen to spawn the Antichrist, so.
What the hell story is that?
Rosemary's baby?
Who the hell is Rosemary?
It's a horror story thing.
A horror story?
Yeah.
You've
never
horror.
seen Rosemary's Baby?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's
a movie?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't watch horror movies, y'all.
Okay.
I would not.
Well,
have seen
I
that
don't
shit.
normally. I have a cousin that's really into horror and like Halloween and shit. So every year, she got a baby now, so we don't have to do it anymore. But before, I would do Halloween stuff with her, and part of that was watching movies. But yeah, Rosemary's Baby. She got chosen to have birth the Antichrist.
See, that's all I'm saying.
So I mean, my point is, you might not be wrong. you might have a point.
Didn't even know it.
Okay, so we're only going to do that one for today because we have some other stuff that we want to talk about. We don't want to run over time. If you have a Reddit that you see that you want us to talk about, or if there's a subreddit that you think would be really good for us to get letters from, please let us know. You can contact us on our social media or send it to conversationconartist@gmail.com, and we will hopefully be able to read which. Oh, let me say this. Save them. People get on Reddit and they post stuff and they get flame broiled and then they take it down. So if you send me the link, when I click on the link, it might not be there anymore. So if you could screenshot them, that will work best to make sure that we have it. We won't be able to see the comments that way, but we'll at least have the letter itself because sometimes people be deleting them and shit. So, but that's it. That was Reddit's a Red. And now we're going to talk about some of the things that we've missed since we haven't been on the show. All of these things actually happened this year, though, so nothing from last year. Do you want to start with what Diddy?
Yeah, let's start with Diddy.
Oh, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs.
Brother Love.
Oh, I forgot about that shit right before all of this happened. If you've been living under a rock, Diddy in some hot water.
Hot water.
More than hot water. Yeah.
Yeah, like hot water is how women take baths. Like he's not in that. This boy is in a lava. He in a volcano.
He is.
He's in a big
bad.
situation.
Apparently Diddy, like a lot of celebrities, has been doing a lot of really terrible things behind the scenes, and all of these things are now coming out into the open. He is being accused of human trafficking, sexual assaults, all manner of things. They've locked him up. He keep trying to get out. His lawyer did a whole nother thing requesting a bond again. The first one they offered 50 mil and they were like, no. This one I think they did 100 mil plus he wouldn't have access to the internet or his phone, which, come on, it's Diddy. You think he can't get that shit easily? I don't think they're going to let him out, but they're still trying.
He's just going to have somebody sneak a phone in through their booty hole like Rick was trying to get Morty to get the mega seeds.
Because his butt was too loose.
He said, I've been doing this too long, Morty. My butt is too loose. It won't work for me. You got to do it. That's his brand now.
It is.
That's what he was using the baby oil for, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. How many bottles of baby oil? I can't even remember. A ridiculous, like thousands of bottles of baby oil. Listen, let me tell you something. There is no good reason to have that amount of baby oil in your house. There's no innocent reason. I've had baby oil lasts forever. You can take one bottle and use it throughout your whole fucking lifetime. Thousands of bottles is crazy.
Thousands of anything in somebody's house is a reason for you to leave.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Unless they got like a business in their house.
Yeah.
It's no reason to have thousands of anything. Thousands of straws. If you go in somebody's house and it's 1,000 straws, they just got nothing more than 1,000, but an unreasonable number of where you see just straws everywhere.
I feel like 1,000 is a lot.
I don't know because they be selling bags of straws in 500, so it's just like 2 big bags won't look like 1,000 straws.
I mean, I get what would you need that amount of straw? Like, what would you do? Juices every day, smoothies? Like, what the fuck would somebody be having? Like, need that many
theoretically, straws is one of those things to where if you get a good deal buying 1,000 of them, then it would make more sense to have them more cups. I guess things in the kitchen that you use every day. But baby oil, I guess it depends on how much you use it. But there's no reason to have 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
And said there was a bunch of sex toys they found. And let me say this, because Boosie pissed me off. Boosie, and it's Boosie, so I didn't expect better. One of the things that he said was like, oh, we getting in trouble for being freaky now. We're not going to act like this is just a freaky nigga. We're not going to do that because that's not what this is, okay? This is beyond freaky. If you have an alternate lifestyle, if you are somebody that likes to engage in like abnormal kinds of shit with consenting adults, that's fine. The problem here is that these were not consenting people. These were people that were taken advantage of. In some cases, possibly adolescents. We don't know. He ain't went to trial yet. I'm just saying what's out there. Okay? The level of things that he is being accused of, we're not going to just lump that into freaky nigga shit. Okay? We're not going to do that because that's not what this is. All right? It ain't.
And Boosie, you pigeonholing yourself into being perceived in a certain type of way.
You already about a hooker for your son.
Once the stuff start coming out about P. Diddy, like you saying, okay, that is a big situation. Because when all this stuff to come out to be true, you gonna be looking real crazy. Oh, so what they doing down there in Louisiana? What Boosie got baby oil too? They probably got some Cajun spice baby oil.
Do Boosie live in Louisiana?
He from Louisiana. I don't know where he live.
He don't have that. I don't hear it.
Boosie, Webby, Fox, all of them, they from.
I knew they were from down here, but I was not thinking Louisiana.
I think they're from New Orleans. Yeah, not New Orleans, but Louisiana. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I for some reason thought he was from New Orleans.
I know he's from down south, but I didn't think New Orleans. But either way, Boosie, this is not the wagon you want to hitch a ride on, and this is not the hill you want to die on. I promise.
It's a lot of lawsuits coming out that say that it's kids, and then there are models coming out saying that they've been to Diddy parties. One model, I don't remember her name. She's on that channel where this dude interview people in particular type of life circumstances, pimps, drug dealers, drug addicts, prostitutes. I can't think of it.
Is it Vice TV?
It's not Vice TV. I can't remember what it is. Okay. All of the pictures on the YouTube channel are black and white face portraits. And she was talking about a Diddy party, and he brought her back to the show because in her previous interview years ago, she had mentioned going to a Diddy party, but in this interview, she said that she mentioned it by accident, but people started commenting on it after all of this came to light, and she said that the stuff that she experienced was so preposterous that she know that nobody would believe her back then, which is why she wouldn't say nothing about it. And so she started talking about it and talking about how she had met an Arabian prince, and the prince said, we going to Diddy party, and they went to Diddy party, and you walk around, and it's like his sons and other people are walking around kind of like putting their eyes on you, talking to you, and at some point they bring you a pair of house slippers. And if you get a pair of house slippers, you're expected to go in the house. And she said when she don't want to be too specific, but when she went in the house, she saw celebrities, she saw kids. She said it was the craziest shit she's seen. And she got out of that. She happened to get out because it seemed like she was about to be trafficked to another country. And she said she got out of there. She had to run and get out of there and escape, essentially. That's what she said.
That's crazy.
And so a whole bunch of that is coming out. And what do we do with that information? What do we do with that?
I mean, I don't know what we do with it. It's horrible. And another thing for the people that are like, oh, they're trying to lock up another black man. Stop doing that. Please. Okay? There is nobody and no group that I am a part of that is above reproach. Some of y'all feel like you just got to go for everything that is a part of that group that you enjoy. I love being black, okay? But some of us be tripping, and I'm going to call out the tripping. So, no, this is not them attacking another black man. Don't do that. If he did the shit they're accusing him of, he is a monster at best. So, please don't lump him over here with black folks. That don't have nothing to do with me. That ain't my life, ain't my ministry.
And not only that, but like, it's not that many black men that get put in these situations. And when the ones that do get put in these situations, there's an overwhelming amount of evidence. With R. Kelly, with Bill Cosby, with P. Diddy, there's been an overwhelming amount of evidence.
Well, with Kelly and Diddy, they provided the evidence. You recording crimes and shit, like the fuck.
The only reason Bill Cosby probably didn't record it because there wasn't no devices at the time. But
stupid.
It's not as if they are just they ain't just doing this to Idris Elba. You know, they not just doing it. Like, it's a whole bunch. They ain't doing this to Tay Diggs. It's just a whole bunch of black men who just living their regular black man life that ain't doing preposterous stuff. And it's like, why are y'all making it seem like ain't no black man potentially capable of doing all of this stuff that's going on.
Humans are capable of anything, I'm convinced. As I get older and I just see the world and how it goes, we are capable of anything. So don't shit surprise me no more. And again, for me, ain't nobody above reproach. There's nobody that I follow, listen to, watch, whatever. If they start doing some fuck shit, then I got to reevaluate them. And I hate, that's part of why I hate that we've got to a place where we know so much about their lives. I miss the 90s. We ain't know shit about them. I could just enjoy music and watch movies and not have to worry about who the actors were in real life. Now, everything is everywhere. So I always got to know how terrible these people are. And once I know, I can't just act like that didn't happen. So please stop with they just trying to persecute another black man. Diddy is not in that category. Please stop that. Okay. If you still want to listen to his music, you're going to have to find another way to justify it. But like them just on a, wild goose chase is not, there's plenty of stuff already that then came out to let us know that Diddy was doing some shit he shouldn't have been doing. Period. Just what it is. Do you have anything else you want to say about the diddler, as he's being called now?
Well, if we're going to transition to our next conversation, the overlap is freaky ass niggas.
Freaky ass niggas.
That need to stay their ass inside.
Fans. These fans. K-Dot and Drake. Let me say, because I know you going to say it, I was not interested in this shit in the beginning. I wasn't. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care. I love Kendrick. I like Drake. And so I was like, I like both of them. I don't really care. But as it continued to go on, he kept being like, you got to listen to this.
Let me tell y'all, because when it was going on, I excitedly went to her and said, have you heard
He did.
Euphoria? Because I ain't care about Drake stuff. Have you heard Euphoria? And she was like, no, what is that? And I was like, this is what's happening with the K-Dot and the Kendrick.
He laid it all out.
And she was like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I was like, damn. And so now, I like, you need to listen. And so I give it up at some point. And at some point, she come to me excited, like, have you heard what's going on, Kendrick Lamar and Drake? I heard it. And I was like, I didn't even have time to be irritated because I was glad that she had got caught up to this point so I can have somebody reasonable to talk with it about.
I don't know what it was. I just wasn't interested until when I heard Euphoria. That is when I was like, oh shit. Because for me, what Kendrick did, and then listen, if you watching this and you think Drake won, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? Maybe you need to come sit on one of our couches because I don't know where you could get to that conclusion from. Okay, like again, this is one of those situations where your fave can't be above reproach. Okay, if Kenny had lost, I would be just like, damn, Kenny lost, but he didn't lose. The psychological warfare that he waged on that man, like, do you know how it's like? You got Biggie and Tupac, you got Nas and Jay-Z. Like their beef was beef while it was beefing. But, like, it didn't really go beyond that as far as, like, people decided who won, who lost. But, like, Kendrick made it uncool to like Drake. Like, that's crazy. He made him lame. For people who didn't even notice, like, how lame, he pointed out so much shit that you just had to be like, damn, that nigga is faking accents and he taking all of his flows and his style and his theme, all of it from other artists. Like, he really just made it uncool to like that nigga. That's amazing. From a psychological standpoint. And in the songs, he included us. Like, it was us against Drake. It was not Kendrick against Drake. We don't want to hear you say nigga no more. We don't want to hear it. Like, he included us in it. They not like us. Like,
it's not just me.
I'm with the culture feeling.
So, psychological warfare is the best way to put this. And listen, man, K-Dot got some issues that if Drake was more in tune with the black community, that he could have actually targeted a little bit, because Kendrick is one slide on the scale away from being a Hebrew Israelite.
He is. And I'd be like, come on, don't do this because I love you.
And if Drake was in tune with the community, like, that would have been a very potent point to pull out about Kendrick Lamar. But he had to resort to making things up and bringing stuff up about his wife and potential his kids being somebody else's.
The Not Like Us video. was so disrespectful because all of that shit that Drake had just said, Whitney in the video, dancing, laughing, and happy. The kids in the video, dancing, laughing, and happy. He got fucking Dave Free to direct this shit, which is the person that Drake was saying is the father of one of the kids. Like, his mind is amazing to come up with it and diabolical. He is a diabolical genius because he could have just came back and gave a bunch of little metaphors and ad-libs, but like I said, he made it uncool to like Drake and just started pointing out the fact that he's not part of the culture. Which the thing is, let me be clear, I don't think that that's what the issue is. I think that he didn't come in like he just appreciates the culture, right? Drake came in like he was already a part of it, even though he was like ripping styles from other folks. And so it just came across as very inauthentic. And Kendrick just pointed that shit out. That shit was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing to watch. It's so cool.
It was good. I've never liked Drake. It's just something about him. And I think, there's a trope about mixed kids being raised by white mamas that, mixes with white women's positionality to white men to where it's like they raise their kids with a certain level of entitlement that they have. Unless they racist. It got to be one of them white mamas that actually love their child. It can't be one of them white mamas who be talking about their child nappy hair because they, in the whole family, they let them get away with racism. Those kids become pro-black. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't more pro-black than a light-skinned person that ain't mixed.
No, yeah.
The most pro-black black person is a light-skinned black person that have black parents.
Yeah.
But I think Drake is one of those situations where his mama was kind of like raising him with these levels of entitlement, and he just navigated the world with that entitlement. I mean, I don't know his actual personality, but
nobody knows.
This gives more insight to him actually than anything, because I think that this for Drake, it came out looking like more of a temper tantrum.
Yeah. It did.
And him trying to catch his footing. More so where K-Dot was kind of like sitting above in a throne, kind of like with his feet crossed with a notepad, just writing and looking at the trail of destruction that he was leaving. And it's something that Drake couldn't handle. And I think the aftermath of that too is showcasing, like, do you know about DeRozan?
Yes.
And
DeMar DeRozan, yeah.
He went to a game recently where they were talking about, I think, honoring his jersey as a Hall of Fame jersey, because when he was in Toronto, he did a lot for them. And Drake said that he'll snatch the jersey down. And there's a lot of people that's where Drake's ego is showing up and his hurt pride is showing up, because everybody in Toronto know what he's done for the Raptors.
Yeah.
For the team. And so I think everything he's doing afterward is showing like it really kind of hurt him in a way that like we can notice. And Kendrick Lamar hasn't expressed himself in that way. He hasn't showed anything that makes it seem as if he was bothered or impacted by this.
No. I mean, he won the whole time. But from the pop-out concert, and that was like his victory lap, just, it was effortless. I think that, and people gave J. Cole such a hard time about, obviously this started because of it's been going on apparently, but the Like That song that Kendrick did with Future is when everybody really was like, oh my God, the big three are beefing. And J. Cole made a track, removed it. But here's the thing. When you friends in real life with somebody, like, you ain't gonna fuck that up for nothing. And I know people were like, it's rap. This is what we do. This is battling is a part of it. Like, they should have been able to. But, like, look at what Kendrick was saying about Drake. Them niggas ain't gonna never be friends after that. They can't be. I'm not gonna be friends with you after you done got the whole world to chant that I can't say nigga more. Or that I'm a pedophile. Like, that's crazy. So, they ain't gonna be friends after that. And I think J. Cole knew that they would not be able to be friends. And he put his friendship above what y'all wanted to see. And I don't blame that man for that. I mean, they obviously are real good friends in real life. And obviously, Kendrick didn't really give that much of a fuck about Drake. Drake never really fit with them to me, right? Like Drake, as far as them being the big three, they're the most like popular. But Drake's personality never. Kendrick and J. Cole have a similar personality to me. Drake didn't fit into that aesthetic.
And this is when I talk about that Hebrew Israelite criticism for Kendrick Lamar. When you see the Hebrew Israelites on the corner talking crazy about white people, that's a level 10. What Kendrick Lamar did to Drake is like level 7 of Hebrew Israelite, because it's like, you got a white mama, you got that in you. You know what I'm saying? Blue-eyed devil talk. Like, so to target, like, he didn't target race, and a lot of people be like he targeted race. He targeted his culture, or his lack of cultural awareness
Yeah.
of the community that he was participating in.
Yes.
I don't think he was saying that you're not black, because he called his son Adonis black and he looked white.
He looked white as
So
hell.
he's open to acknowledging his blackness, but he wouldn't let Drake get away with acting as if he's culturally aware when he's not.
Yeah.
It's like looking from across the street and seeing somebody with a beanie on, and seeing somebody with some, they pants, however the culture wear pants. There's a lot of different ways, and what kind of shoes the culture wearing from across the street. He said, I can do that. He put all the stuff on, but he don't know the language. He don't know how to say the things. He don't know how to move in the stuff the way that people go. And so it's like you can't adopt a culture like that and then treat the culture like a redheaded stepchild.
And money, there's a line. I could literally recite all of Euphoria and Not Like Us, but I'm not going to do that. But there is a line in Euphoria where he was like talking about how once a lame, always a lame. Oh, you thought the money, the power, the fame would make you go away? Like, in the culture, if you lame, you just fucking lame. If you're lame and you have money, you a lame nigga with money. Like, it don't make it go away, and it don't make people look at you any differently. They may treat you differently for, like, what you can do for them, but their perception of you is the same. You still considered to be a lame nigga at the end of the day. And so, like, and it was so many quotables from Kendrick stuff that people are going around, and still, now let me say to the Lil Wayne folks, because after that all kind of settled down, they announced that Kendrick is going to do the Super Bowl. And when I say that Nicki Minaj, like all of them lost their mind because the Super Bowl is going to be in New Orleans this year. They have never chosen an act based on the place that the Super Bowl was in. So and they've done it in New Orleans before and did not have one of the New Orleans reps. So like, I don't really understand. And Nicki, she was talking about, Wayne being a black man and I'm doing him wrong. Bitch, Kenny is black too. They still chose a black man. He just wasn't your black man. Okay, so girl, calm down. Sit down. You look crazy. Like, all of that hoopla about him getting to do the Super Bowl was crazy to me. I didn't understand it. And this is my thing. Jay-Z being a part of that, of the NFL and him being a part of, like, helping with the shows is the only reason they've had so many hip-hop acts. But y'all doing shit like this gonna make them be like, this why we don't, because they don't have that with pop stars. You don't see pop stars going back and forth about who finna perform. Okay, y'all making this a big deal, and it's gonna go back to where we're not gonna see representation in these Super Bowl shows, and it's gonna be on y'all for cutting a fool over some shit that don't fuck. What do you care? Like, if I don't like the act, I don't watch it. Simple. It's easy. I don't know why y'all, like, I don't understand why you don't get that, but I don't know why they was. I'm assuming it's because of Drake's attachment to them. And it's Kendrick, because I can't understand. Like I said, it's never dependent upon where it is. No matter where they have it, they pick whoever's popular or whoever's popping at the time, period. Regardless of the state it's in.
I mean, this cultural dialogue is probably going to make Jay-Z start shifting to considering that and stuff. But I think without all of this fuss, or minimal fuss, or maybe even a request to have an audience, might have turned it into, hey, let's invite the people from the city here to do it. And what would be really salty if he invite a bunch of people outside of, like, Young Money Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj,
Yeah.
Drake, and any of them. I mean, clearly he wouldn't invite Drake, but like,
Well, now
um,
that you said, I did not know this. You told me this, that Kendrick is actually a Lil Wayne fan. He probably was gonna fucking include him in the show, and then here y'all come running your fucking mouths.
yeah, he's definitely a Lil Wayne fan. I mean,
So
the
like
way
he
he got
would have.
drunk on live and started rapping stuff from Squad Up. You don't even know about Squad Up
Sure
with Lil
don't.
Wayne. Squad Up was
Sure
like
don't.
a so Lil Wayne got on the mixtape train real early, and he started taking other people's beats, rapping on them, and then releasing them on mixtapes for free. Just freestyling. Him and Currency and Gutter and all of these other guys that he was with him, they were just all rapping, and they had like 7 series of these. And Kendrick Lamar got on Instagram Live drunk when Lil Wayne talked about retiring, just going hard rapping one of his songs. And it's a song that you don't know the lyrics to unless you was there when Squad Up was coming out. I mean, you can go back and listen to Squad Up. Really, if you're gonna go back and listen to old Lil Wayne, it should be Gangsta Grill's Dedication. Though that series, it should be No Ceilings, that series. But because I went back to go listen to Squad Up, and it's like it's okay, but it set the foundation for what all of those other mixtapes was gonna do. Where he was taking them beats. So for you to be back in Squad Up time, you was there when Squad Up was happening. And for Kendrick Lamar to get on that, and for that his fandom to not be acknowledged as far as Lil Wayne goes, it's just rude. You know what I'm saying? Ego based.
Yep, very
And
much.
Lil Wayne been out here talking about how the fans held me up during this tough time because I didn't get chosen and stuff like that. It's just you don't have to be doing that, Lil Wayne. You're sullying your name by responding to it that way.
And I ain't never been to a Lil Wayne concert, but the last ones that I've heard about, the nigga don't even remember his own raps. Like he was drawing a blank, and I'm sure that has to do with all the lean from over the years. Like
Yeah.
the Super Bowl is a show. It is not just a concert. It is a show. You need showmanship to do that kind of thing. I don't know what Wayne would have even done other than just have a bunch of niggas on the field rapping. Like it wouldn't have been a show. I don't even know if he's ever put on like an actual like show.
Yeah.
So like I still don't get why y'all salty, but stay mad. I will be tuning into the halftime show. I don't watch football, so I could give a shit. I don't even know who playing.
Yeah.
I'll
And
be real.
clearly this conversation is past its prime, but as the return of our
Yeah.
show, these are just some big things that we wanted to focus on for the sake of the listeners that we had and what they used to expect to hear from us.
And these are two things that are still kind of because there's still stuff coming up. On Diddy's got his whole trial coming up. K Dot is gonna do the Super Bowl show. So like seeing as we get closer to that, what that's gonna they still gonna be whining and in their feelings, or if they gonna shut the fuck up, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there's anything else, if you're a long time listener and there were things that were happening while we were gone that you were like, damn, I wish they were doing the show, email it to us and we can, if I can remember it, because depending on what it is, I might not have been on it. So if it's something that we have opinions about, we can share. These were just two of the things that we wanted to talk about. But if there's something else that y'all would like to hear our opinions on, then just let us know. But I want to end the show every week with a random question. Sometimes my questions, sometimes his questions. This week is mine. I don't even know why I was thinking about this.
Now, I got one too now.
You have one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's my question to you. You use toilet tissue lesser in public places, obviously because you're male and y'all usually use the urinal. But when you do and you need toilet tissue, how many pulls do you do? Because like that toilet tissue always shit. So you got to have like a stack. You know what I mean? Like how many pulls do you do to have like the safety of the wipe?
Okay. I grab the end of the toilet paper and I roll that bitch like the Price is Right. So if it as much as roll out after I do that, that's what I pull off. And some of them be like they be rolling like,
That's what I know.
and then it hit the floor.
I do 2 full body extensions because usually the toilet paper rolls on this side, so I gotta at least do this twice and go back for the third and break it off. Because that's enough if I fold it down that I feel safe that like I'm not gonna have like a wet hand. Because the tissue's so horrible. Like,
Listen, I start wrapping my shit like a mummy. I start wrapping my hand up like a mummy. You can't even see no hand by the time I done grab the amount of toilet paper I'm gonna grab. I don't even cause listen, the luxury of being out in a bathroom in public is I don't care about it getting stopped up for real. I gotta be careful at home with how much I use, but
well,
then
yeah,
also
higher
have quality toilet
yeah.
paper at the house. You know what I'm saying?
That toilet paper in public, I don't know. I was like using the bathroom somewhere, and I was like, oh, I do this twice every time, and I was like, I'm ass on point.
Nah, bro. I'm pricing to write that thing, and because some of them roll real good. If they don't roll good, I just wrap my hand up like a mummy, 3 or 4 times.
What's your question? That was my question.
All right. You could choose to answer this question for 1 or 3 people, but you got to choose the person before I ask you the question.
For fuck's sake.
Donald Trump, Diddy, or Drake?
Jesus. I don't want to talk about Trump. I don't. Drake.
If Drake at this moment got a hope to an infinity gauntlet, what do you think he would do with it pertaining to what happened and transpired in the beef?
I think that Drake is very self-serving, right? So like my initial response would be that he would snap and like get rid of all his competition. But I think that more than that, Drake want to win. I feel like Drake would create a circumstance where he would have won the battle. He would still want to do the battle. He would just want to come out the winner and not the loser like he
That's
did.
what I think. But how? How do you think he would? Would he have like would he snap for Kendrick Lamar's tracks to be worse? Would he have snapped for his writing to be better? Would he actually want it to be a competition? Would he snap for the lies that he told to be true? What do you think he would do?
He doesn't want competition. He wants to win. Drake is ego driven. So I feel like he want to win. It don't matter about the competition. I feel like Drake wanted a win is a win. Even if I barely scrape by, a win is a win. So I think that, and I think he would want to humiliate Kendrick. So I think he would snap and make Kendrick's rhymes like just shitty. Like just disrespectfully bad. To where people are like, oh, this is why he don't battle rap. Because nobody's heard Kendrick battle before. So this would have been the first time and people could have just been like, oh, he trashed the shit. I feel like he would have made his rhymes worse because I don't know that he could have made his rhymes better. I think it'd be easier. I think the easier thing would be to make Kendrick's worse because I feel like it takes more effort to make Drake's better.
I think a potent snap would have been to snap and know his secrets.
Yeah.
Snap and know Kendrick Lamar's secrets so he can write about stuff that would take Kendrick Lamar by such a surprise that he wouldn't be able to keep his footing.
It had to be provable. Well, not necessarily.
Well, the Infinity Gauntlet is going to give you the information you need. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I don't think, because a part of me is like, would he just get rid of Kendrick's existence?
No.
I don't think he'd do that, even though I think he'd think about it. I think he'd just make himself superior and make Kendrick Lamar so inferior that, like, he would do what Kendrick Lamar did to him. Make it cool not to like Kendrick Lamar somehow.
Because that's he would want to do to him what was done to him because Drake was embarrassed, as he should have been. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that that's what he would have done. But he absolutely wouldn't have just got rid of Kendrick because I think that more than anything, winning would have been. Because I think about what that would have done for him in hip hop history if he had one. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And the respect that would have given him for the people that do think he's not necessarily a part of the culture. Winning a rap battle against Kendrick Lamar would have really fucking helped him out with that. So I think that's what he would have wanted to do. I don't think he would have got rid of
He could have done a retroactive snap. He could have snapped for him to understand the culture too deeply for Kendrick Lamar to have these beefs about him, to have these sentiments about him. He could snap himself to just understand everything there is to understand about the black culture.
You know what? I don't think he desires to do that.
He wouldn't do that. Yeah,
he doesn't have a desire. Because he
because
did, he
could. You could just do that. Yeah,
he could just do that now. And this would have like helped him out on the whole "you ain't a part of the culture" shit. He could have been doing that. He don't want to.
Well, I think this showed him that he didn't know as much as he thought he probably knew. Yeah. And he might have thought he was moving through the black community in the way that other black people move through the black community until these like issues pop out like that K Dot. So I'm thinking if he got the Infinity Gauntlet and he says, where do I solve this problem at? He could solve it at giving himself knowledge to not have been in this situation anyway. But if he starts at where the beef started at, yeah, he would have to either get some really good writing. I don't know with the Infinity Gauntlet, like there are words that could have superseded what Kendrick Lamar said.
It is.
There's words that he couldn't pay people to come up with, or that he couldn't come up with himself. I think he would fix the problem at. I think his ego will make him fix the problem at making himself a better rapper.
Yes.
Than everybody. And in this moment, including Kendrick Lamar, but it will make him better than everybody. All of the things that would make him a better rapper, I want that. And whatever that would be the outcome.
Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we'll just do random questions at the end. I think it's a light way to end this show. So if y'all want to give feedback about what you would do in either of those situations, how many times you pull, women more than men, because y'all don't really use it every time. Every time you go, I have to pull a number of toilet tissue to make sure that I'm good.
Yeah.
Because the toilet paper's so shitty.
I bought a
pun
bidet.
intended. Why did you buy a bidet?
Because I wanted to see how it felt.
Like water up your butt. What do you mean?
But listen, it is a different kind of clean than using paper. It's 100% different kind of clean. I don't really even know the words to explain it, but just once you get through using the bathroom and you walk around, it feel different.
I don't think I've ever used a bidet.
Feel like you sat in a fresh spring butt
I've
naked.
seen them in places that I've been in, but I didn't want to spray water on my butt, so I would just use the regular toilets in the room. I've seen them before, I just never use them because I can't grasp my mind around, let my butt get wet, and then put my clothes back on.
I also bought it used. I bought a used bidet.
Why would you do
Because
that?
it was a better price.
But people were putting their butts on it.
The way I got around this sentiment is that's the same thing when you move into a new apartment or a new house, right? Like, do you change your toilet cover when you move in?
Well, you can put toilet covers on it, but it's the same thing. The reason you're putting the toilet cover on it is because other people's asses have sat down on it. So,
And you wouldn't even put that on it without cleaning it,
yeah.
right? So I cleaned it.
It just feels different. I know it's not. But it.
I mean, there is a difference because one of them is a fixture in your home and you come into it and it's already there.
Yeah.
The other one is like I'm voluntarily choosing to buy something that other people booty been on. And when they bring it to me, I don't know that they cleaned it.
Well,
I might be touching like raw white people booty bidet that I'm going to have to clean when I get home. Because I definitely carried it in here. In my arms, I didn't like put on gloves and long sleeves and put it in a trash bag.
I guess it's no different. The whole concept of thrift stores is you wear clothes that other people wore. I don't, that I guess is the same. We do that with a lot of things. I don't know. The bidet just seemed different.
it seemed a little different, but like I had to get around it myself. I was like, bidet, and then I was like, oh,
Yeah.
bidet, and then I was like, booty, and I was like, well, I've done it before. Same thing for bathrooms at the
Public restroom, any bathroom you use that's not your bathroom at home.
Yeah.
It's somebody else's toilet. Other people have sat on it. So, I mean, I get it. It just I don't know, it just feels different. But anyway.
I get it.
I think that's it.
All right, you got anything else on your mind?
Or do not.
All right, well, until we come to the next conversation.
We out.
Holla.